I'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Bonnie Eagle High School Class of 2025, summa cum laude students. I'll recognize Mr. Gleason.
Yes, good evening. This is always a great event where we get to recognize our summa cum laude students. I think we have 16 in the program. I'm not sure if they're all here tonight, but we will say their names nonetheless. So what I'd like to do is invite them one at a time to the podium, and when they come up, they're going to introduce themselves, who they are, what town you're from too. People like to know that. Who's with you tonight, and then your plans for next year or anything else you would like to share with the audience at home or in the room tonight. So I'm going to start a little out of order. I'm going to have our student board member rep, Hannah Hall, come up first. Get things started.
Hi, I bet none of you guys know me. My name's Hannah Hall. I came with my parents, Holly and Matt. I'm from the town of Standish. And next year I plan to attend Emerson College with a political communications degree. Wonderful.
Now we'll go back to the program. I'm going to go in the order they're listed. So our valedictorian, Julia Pendleton, if you'd like to come up.
My name is Julia Pendleton. I'm from Buxton. I'm here with my mom, Heather Pendleton, and next year I'll be attending Cedarville University, studying exercise science in hopes to pursue physical therapy.
Sophia, I feel like I won't say your whole name. I'm going to let you do your whole name. I'll just cue you.
Hi, my name's Sophia Gaudiano. I'm from Buxton. I'm here with my parents, Dave and Cindy Gaudiano, and next year I'll be going to UNE to study medical biology on a pre-med track in hopes to do sports medicine.
I think that Madison's not here. Madison Booton is next, but we'll go next to Ethan.
Hi there, my name is Ethan Cole. I'm from Standish. My parents, Beth and Dave Cole, both came tonight, and I was also joined by my younger brother Ian. He was nice enough to come. For my future, I'll be going to the University of Maine in Orono and studying mechanical engineering. Thank you.
I think Veronica is also not here. Veronica Cody. Paige Davis. Oops, I wasn't going to say your last name. Sorry, spoiled it.
Thank you for having me. My name is Paige Davis. I'm from Buxton. I'm joined by my parents, Crystal and Chad, tonight. And next year, I'm going to Clarkson University to study chemical engineering and also be on the swim team.
Ava.
Hi, my name's Ava Durier. I'm from Standish, and next year I'm going to Bowdoin College for psychology and government to hopefully do, I don't really know yet, but we'll figure that out.
For this next student, Mrs. York said, don't forget he likes to be called Harry. And I'm like, I know that. I've known him since kindergarten. So Harry, come on up.
Hi, I'm Harry Dunn. I'm the class president at Bonnie Eagle. I'm from Hollis. I'm with my mom, Liza Dunn, today. Next year, I'm going to go to USM to study a major in economics and minor in political science. I'm also going to be running on the cross-country team and the track team.
All right, I don't think Tristan Flinner is here tonight. Ashley Gray also, I think. I did Hannah. No. Charlotte McAvoy. Sochi Pope. No. Eli Reese. No. Madeline Stevens. So it looks like Best for last, right, Lauren? You're up.
Hi, I'm Lauren and I'm from Standish. I'm here with my parents, Melinda and Benjamin Walker. Next year I'll be attending the University of New England majoring in medical biology on a pre-med track.
Thank you. So I just want to offer my congratulations to all of you because it's a lot of hard work to get where you are, and you're all going to do great things and represent us very well. So thank you for coming. One more round of applause for the students. You're welcome to stay for the business part of the meeting, but we'll also understand if you take a cookie and a drink and enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Quorum call?
Director Black? Here. Director Kreutz? Here. Director Dakotas? Here. Director Heath? Here. Director Marian?
Present.
Director Moses?
Here.
Director Meserve? Here. Director Sargent?
Here.
Director Silvestri? Here. Director Welch?
Here.
Chairman Carlo?
Excused.
Mr. Nobile?
Here.
Ms. Hall? Here. You have 10 members present and 1 excused.
10 members present, 1 excused. We have a quorum. Number 5, acceptance of the agenda. I will entertain a motion. Mr. Sargent. Mr. Sargent moves to accept the agenda. Is there a second? Director Black? Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? All opposed? It's unanimous. The agenda passes. Number 6, reading and approval of the minutes. If there's no objection to waiving the reading of the minutes, seeing none, I'll take a motion for the approval of the minutes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Director Sargent moves to accept. Is there a second? Director Meserve? Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? All opposed? It's unanimous. The minutes pass. The chair will inquire if there is any public that is looking to make any comments today. Seeing none. We have a consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Director Dakotas moves the question. Is there a second? Director Marian? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? It is unanimous, and the consent agenda passes. So the report from the chairman, Mr. Carlo wants to remind everybody that June 6th, this Friday, is graduation. It will be at the Cross Arena. If anyone is still in need of tickets, Sandy has tickets available today, so just speak to her. And then I do want to advise the board that the next meeting on June 16th is going to be a special meeting where we will reorganize the board, and we will then go on to setting up the committees and going into the next year. Any questions on that? That's great.
Not a question per se, because I know you may not have the answer, but I know we usually put out a survey to the board to see if there are requests for committees. So I would anticipate that we would see that soon so that the incoming chair would have that information.
Yeah, I'll follow up with Director Chairman Carlo and see when that handoff happens, if we do that before or after. So, noted. And I do want to take a moment to recognize our student reps, Boston and Hannah. We do this every year, so just want to present these lovely awards to our reps. It's a lot of work. We really appreciate it. I know that I personally take a lot of guidance from the student reps, their input, and all the contributions. I think it does make an impact in our community, so thank you very much. And that's all I have. So I'll recognize the superintendent for the superintendent's report.
Good evening. I would just offer my thanks as well to our student reps. It's not an easy thing to show up all these Monday nights when you have so many other things going on, but we appreciate your input. And again, I was saying to Hannah earlier, not every school district in every state does this. So it's good that you take advantage of that opportunity, and we appreciate your input, and wish you well moving forward. All right, so I have a couple of items. Where did I put my list? So graduation, we've talked about graduation. I believe in your packet there was a report that I included for informational purposes that talks about a procurement review of our school nutrition program that was done from this past year. And I just want to say there were no findings, which is a good thing. You know, our school nutrition program was in a good, healthy spot, run well, budgeting, everything worked well. The only kind of commendations were sort of common things. One thing I learned in this process is that a certain % of the food has to be purchased from USA-based companies. There can only be a certain percentage that's from outside of the country. But that can be a challenge because the distributors don't always identify where the food is coming from, so the director has to do some digging sometimes, and Erin Miller does a good job kind of sifting through that and doing the best she can with that. But in general, our program's healthy and running well. I sent out a notice just this afternoon with a couple of items that I'll mention tonight. One is informing people in the community about Sunbucks, which is a program that the state of Maine offers to help with feeding students in the summer months. The details are attached to links that were in that letter that went home, but people should definitely explore that. Some families will get a direct mailing from the state with a card, a benefits card. Others, it might be connected to other benefits they may have. Other people might need to apply, so it's definitely something that folks in the community should look into if they're interested. The last day of school has been, it's always an interesting thing because it does get confusing, if I'm being honest, because we have this concept of snow days and then it rolls the last day. But I'm here to tell you that 100% June 16th is a Monday and it is the last day of school. And people have said, but it's Monday, we can't have a last day on a Monday. Yes, we can. It's not convenient sometimes, it's a little bit annoying, but the only reason I would come to the board to knock off a day off the school calendar is a year like last year where we had more interruptions and more days. We only had 2 snow days. It seemed like more. It was a long winter. We had several early releases and late arrivals due to weather, but we managed to get through the winter with 2 snow days. And normally you would want a hardship if you were going to adjust the calendar. So we're not going to adjust the calendar. I wouldn't even ask to do that. It is Monday. For the high school, I think it's a remediation day. I'm sure the elementary schools are going to be doing kind of closing activities. It is an early release, not truly a half day, but it's the same thing we've been doing all year, 11:30 high school, middle school, 12:30 elementary. So June 16th, yes, is in fact the last day of school. And another thing that confuses people is we marked the last day as a early release initially. Well, the last day of school was going to be the 12th. It's not anymore, it's the 16th. So the 12th is a full day of school. The 13th is a full day of school. All the days of school between now and then are full, except for the 16th. Also, don't forget that June 10th, we have our local elections, so including the school budget. So I'm not here to tell you how to vote, but I'm going to encourage you to vote and let your voice be heard in the process, both in the school budget and for other issues in your local communities. So at your local polling places on June 10th, please be sure to get out and do your civic duty. I just wanted to mention that on Wednesday, a tradition that has, I think it's relatively new, we'll be having the senior stroll, which is an opportunity for seniors to go back to an elementary school of their choosing and walk the halls. I think we also go to the middle school, and I think kids sort of pick which schools they want to go to, but it's a nice chance for our younger students to see the kids who are graduating and for our seniors to go back and kind of revisit maybe their local elementary school that maybe they haven't been in for a while. So congratulations to our seniors, and that's a nice event. I feel like I didn't do a very good job last year telling you about the Bonnie Eagle Adult Education graduation, but I'm here to correct that for this year. So that is, in fact, next Wednesday, June 11th at 7 o'clock, and I believe it is in the high school auditorium. That's where I'm planning to go, and I'm going to speak, so it would be awkward if I was in the wrong place. But that is a nice event also, so if you're available and can attend on Wednesday next week, that would be welcome. I have a professional retirement to announce. Speaking of adult education, Linda Winton, our adult education director, is retiring from her position effective July 11th. Linda's worked for the district for a number of years, and I know she puts takes a lot of pride and puts a lot of effort into our adult ed program, so we will miss her, and we wish her well in her future endeavors. I know she has plans to travel and enjoy, and she's got a lot of years into the profession, so it's well deserved. So we are currently looking for a new adult ed director. If anyone knows anyone, send them my way. But congratulations to Linda. And then also in your packet, you have the student enrollment, truancy, support staff new hires, and resignations. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you for the report. Are there any questions? Mr. Marian.
I know this wasn't part of your report, Mr. Gleason, but I saw on social media where Bonnie Eagle High School rated 17th in something because of their extra hard work and curriculum. And is that something that we were part of some survey or something?
I have to say, I'm not sure. I would need to look at what we're...
34 schools or something were looked at, and Bonnie Eagle came in 17th as being a great place to get a good education. And I thought, well, isn't that funny that we hadn't heard about this? I was curious as to what it was.
I'm not really sure what that is. I can look into it. I mean,
Oh, it's not that important.
I agree, and I think we should be higher, frankly, but I don't know what measure that is. I don't know if it's... I wouldn't even want to speculate. It's not anything official that came across my desk. It doesn't mean it's not valid or worth celebrating, but I did not happen to see that.
Well, I was impressed, and I was happy to read it.
Good,
so.
good.
Mr. Sargent.
I think we start our meeting at 5:30, not 6. Is that correct?
Well, that's a great question. There are two meetings next week. So there's the special meeting at 5:30, so you are correct, and that is to certify the results of the election and to swear in new members. Okay. And that's when officially the board changes. So this is the last meeting of this board. And then the swearing in happens, and then there is a meeting at 6 o'clock, which is a regular meeting for the next board. Yep, so there are actually two meetings, one at 5:30, one at 6.
Any other questions for the superintendent? Great, then number 11, report from the student members, if there are any reports.
We're just going to keep it brief with the high school today, and give Hannah a sweet goodbye by just having me do it. So this past Saturday, the senior banquet was held at the Elks Lodge in Portland to great success. Congratulations to the senior class officers and the 2025 class advisor, Mr. Alonzo. The senior final assembly is scheduled for Wednesday evening, June 4th in the Bonnie Eagle High School gym beginning at 6 p.m. Last Friday, May 30th, several band and chorus students attended the Great East Festival in Springfield, Massachusetts. Various groups of both band and chorus performed for a panel of judges where they got feedback to help them move on to the next level of performance. Congratulations to all those who performed. The Underclassmen Awards will be held in the gym from 6 to 8 p.m. next Tuesday, June 10th, where students will be recognized for their outstanding work in their classes over the year. As a final note, we congratulate our class of 2025 as they wrap up high school this week. Best of luck to all. And we have no other reports from schools. So that'll do it.
Awesome, thank you. Any questions for our student members? Seeing none. Chair will inquire if there are any committees that wish to share reports at this time. Director Kreutz.
Thank you very much. The Curriculum Committee met on Tuesday, May 13th in Central Office. We had 3 members present as well as the administration. We approved the minutes. There was no public comment. Our first major item on the agenda was the elementary STEM program proposal. This is what I presented at our last meeting, and we approved. So hopefully we will be able to get that up and running for the elementary school. Again, that was the primary keys for that will set it off is the kindergarten enrollment numbers and the budget passing as is. Again, there's no cost that we're adding to the budget for this program, and the idea is that for the elementary schools, this will be added as a new special. So in addition to gym, art, library, and the other one that I can never remember, music. I can only ever remember 3 at a time. So the 5th day will now be a STEM program, again, if this is able to go up and running, which is great. And not only will it be awesome for the kids in general, we're hoping that it will help improve science and math scores. The next item on our agenda was the updated course of studies at TLC. So we did already approved the high school course catalog, and that came to the full board. The Learning Center needed a little more time. They had new staff members and just needed some additional time to make sure that everything was buttoned up. So we did review that. No major changes. Some English course descriptions were updated. Social studies had some stuff separated out so that we could get it better with state requirements. And then just for next year, now that they've gone through this exercise and have it well established, it will come forward with the high school agenda for next year. So that was great. We then had 2 new textbooks that we reviewed. First was for AP US History, and the second was for Latin 1 and Latin 2. We reviewed both of these textbooks. The AP course, the AP board has some fairly strict requirements for what the materials can be, the short list, and so those were reviewed, and we liked the one that was brought forward. One of the things that was considered was the digital format versus paper format, and with as we know, political winds shift and change, and while we want our books to be up to date, we wanted to make sure that we weren't signing on for some sort of digital edition that would end up getting changed that we weren't necessarily aware of. So we went for a version that was in print. And then the Latin textbook that was brought forward is also a print textbook. So we'll get 25 copies to stay in the class. And our Latin group liked this because it made it interesting, which can be difficult to do with a quote-unquote dead language. So it really incorporates Latin into everyday stuff. Item 7 was the review of the curriculum department's goals. So they had 3 goals that they were focusing on this year, and those were providing substantial support for teachers through improving upon consistent written curriculum in all content areas. And really what that translates to in everyday English is making sure that the curriculum information is written out in a way that everyone can understand, and this is particularly great for people who are new coming on board to Bonnie Eagle so that they have an understanding of what the consistent expectations are for all the different curriculum items. So they're making great progress with that. The second goal is to improve teacher effectiveness in math instruction. So we've continued to work on this. High school's been working on a math pact, Middle school is using iExcel. Elementary has been using Reveal Math. So good strides made in that direction as well. And then the third goal is striving to create increasingly equitable services. So we've had some personal development. We've had a lot of work using AI with DFIT, which is able to raise material either up to students that need more of a challenge or bring the material down to kids that maybe need a little more help. So this is great. So a teacher can teach the same material to the entire class and have everybody understand and be on a level playing field to then be able to teach the concepts that are in there. So again, good work being done by our curriculum department. Last item on the agenda was other business, and we got some, it was a preliminary information, but we may have an opportunity to work with the Rue Institute, which is, I think, affiliated with Northeastern, if I'm not mistaken, and just trying to do a study about augmented reality against student success. And so we had a opportunity to do this in the high school in one of the biology classes, where they were able to, use augmented reality to, essentially put their hands on I believe it was a molecule, and like pull it apart and sort of interact with it. And so they would like to see, what kind of success students can have when they are met with these new technologies. And so we are waiting to hear more about that, and that will likely come to the board at a later time. We said our next meeting is to be determined as necessary once the board reshuffles and the curriculum department sees what their needs are, and then we adjourned at 7:51.
Wonderful. Any questions for the curriculum committee? I just want to thank that group, and I think to that STEAM program special, I'm excited to see how that goes, because I know a lot of other districts, they often contract outside groups to help augment their science, their STEAM programs. So it'd be great if it's something that we can do internally. So great news. Are there any other committees that want to provide a report today? Seeing none. Number 13, we don't have our presentation today, so that will be rescheduled at a later date.
Guys, offer, yes. Our transportation director was very ill and was going to drag herself to this meeting sick, and we said, no, please don't, rest. Vice Chair Welch and I were talking how it might be more timely actually to have this at the first meeting in August, let's say, right before school's starting, and so people are looking ahead to what to expect for next year. So we'll definitely reschedule this for a future meeting, because I think it's important for the board to hear about this and for the community to hear about it.
Great. And number 14, appointment of Charles Desires, MD, as school physician for the 2025-2026 school year. I'll entertain a motion. Director Kreutz.
I move to approve Dr. DeSayas as our school physician for the 2025-2026 school year.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Director Heath, any discussion? You want to say a little thing?
I'll just add that this Dr. DeSayas has been the district physician for a number of years. This is not a change. The amount of money we pay him is not a lot, and he provides good advice for our nursing staff when issues come up. And I find him to be very helpful. Because he's readily available to our nurses, so I think it's a great value for the district, actually.
Is the board ready? All those in favor? All opposed? It's unanimous. And Dr. Sayas is appointed for the 2025-2026 year. Number 15, report of the Committee on Policy and Rules. Chair recognizes Director Dakotas.
Thank you. So these policies are coming for second reading. I'll just identify them. The first one is policy ADC, which has to do with the use and possession of tobacco, nicotine, and electronic smoking devices. The procedure that goes with it is ACD-R. We have policy KHC, which has to do with the distribution of advertising and non-school materials. that had no changes when it came out of the policy committee. EBCF, automated external defibrillator, and the procedure that goes with that policy also had no changes when it came out of policy. Since first reading, I have not heard anything from anyone about these policies, so I would just recommend that, make a motion that these policies be accepted as presented to the board.
Director Dakotas moves Resolution 26, ADC, use and possession of tobacco, nicotine, and electronic smoking devices. Is there a second? Director Sargent, any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? All opposed? It's unanimous, so that passes. Number 16, notification of scheduled meetings. So Thursday, June 12th, 2025, Central Office Finance Facilities meeting at 3 p.m. in the conference room. Monday, June 16th, Central Office. We have a special board meeting at 5:30 p.m. here in the conference room. And Monday, June 16th, 2025, Central Office, our regular meeting at 6 p.m. in the conference room, as Mr. Gleason had explained to us earlier. Are there any other notifications of meetings that need to be presented? Director Sargent?
I think before we adjourn, we should a hand for our student reps and all the input they put out through the year. It's kind of a thankless job to sit there when you can vote, but it doesn't count. But your input is really worth it. Thank you.
Totally agree. And just a reminder, as Mr. Gleason said, we have an election on June 10th. Number 17, adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Ms. Dakotas? Is there a second? Director Heath? All those in favor? All opposed? It's unanimous. The board is adjourned until June 16th.